I literally thought it was a hypo, and I'm like, welcome to 92 Capes. I'm Jared. I'm here with Robert. What's up, brother?
Yo!
And today we are discussing the tourists.
Yep, the tourists and the shippers.
Yeah, because they're one in the same. Let me put it to you this way.
Yep. And,
So-
and they're coming out in droves.
Yeah, and Cameron, a fantastic comment to start off, brother. He goes, hey, guys, and to start, yes, especially when they refuse to read comics or even admit that their ideas wouldn't work. Yep. It's an ego trip with them.
Okay, but here's what we define as a tourist.
Go ahead.
A tourist is not someone who's new or anything like that.
Yeah.
A tourist is someone who only goes the bare minimum and yet acts like they are the genius. Acts like they know everything. Acts like they, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, what's up, NJ? Exactly. It's more like now. Here's the thing.
Or they overcompensate was by trying to declare, like, oh, I've read all this stuff, so I know.
Oh, guys, legit. I've told Robert this, but I might as well tell the chat here. I was having a debate with someone about Superman, and they told me they had read every single issue of Superman that's ever been published.
Yeah, right. One, if that's true, then I would question their opinion, their points.
Yeah, exactly. But Parker, yeah, we're just using DC tourists as the example.
Yeah.
But they exist with like every Thoth, exactly. Impossible. But these people keep trying to go like. But by that logic, I've read every single Wonder Woman issue.
How's it? It's impossible. Sorry, go ahead.
That's the equivalent of Tom King before he started writing Wonder Woman going, I've read most Wonder Woman runs.
Yeah, right.
Now, it's like, and here's the thing. With shippers, we have to define this very importantly. Because
we're talking about the new school shippers. The new school shippers.
Yes, because obviously I do a show on this where I talk about like Super Wonder. What we mean by shippers for the purpose of this discussion is
those who
fans that will ship literally anyone together.
And they don't care about story at all. These are the ones who would rather read the fanfic rather than write fan fiction. That's why they complain so much.
Which is why I took issue when Nick, when we had our falling out, accused me of being a shipper. Because I go, bro, you know what you deliberately misrepresented my tweet, and then you call me a shipper. I'm like, what do you know I'm not. But anyway, moving on. The purpose of this is okay. So when you get to like with like some of these fans, because again, it's the people that also go, and Robert and I love these people that like the Ken should be dead. They serve no purpose.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, no.
Those are and again, or everything from the Silver Age should be brought back as is. No modernization or anything.
Yeah, exactly. And Sean, we're talking about the DC tourists, not the Wolverine game. Save that.
Wolverine game will be tomorrow.
Yeah. Save that for Under Two Capes. But anyway, the problem that I have is that, and also when it comes to listening to the tourists, I think that Marvel is more guilty of this than DC is.
Yep, more so. Because that's the reason why they keep making. Like they keep thinking, make everyone queer and they'll get all the invisible audience.
Or like, I'm going to say this, okay? With the Wonder Woman fandom, Robert knows what I'm about to say.
Yeah, yep.
I need to say this. The reason why Tom King got on Wonder Woman is because DC thought that we could put anyone on here. The DC fandom doesn't care. All they care about is who she sleeps with.
Unfortunately.
And you know what? Having interacted with like a lot of this fandom, I can tell you they have a point there.
Yep.
I'm just going to tell you that. What are the worst kinds of tourists you guys have dealt with?
We're going over them.
All of them. Yeah, exactly. Pick your poison, Parker. We probably interacted with them. Oh my gosh. But yeah. And it's like, the issue that like I get presented with is like, and then you also have, there's another version of tourists, Robert, that you and I didn't even talk about. Cosplayers. Because here's the thing. Do you know it's one of the reasons why we got female Thor?
Cosplaying?
Because the cosplayers kept telling Marvel, why can't Thor be a girl?
That why? And that sounds like why Aaron would then decide, like, oh, I will cater to these people.
Yes, that's why.
And that's why he would say, oh, it's a mantle.
Yep, exactly. And yes, NJ, Reddit is way worse, trust me. But we're talking about tourists in literally everything. But yeah, that's where you got a lot of those like female version of these characters, because cosplayers wanted the companies to validate and canonize their cosplays. Or in the case, honestly, again, Robert and I were talking about so today. When it comes to the rabid shippers, it's more of, look, it's like people have their headcanons and like coded ships, and they want DC to validate them. I am of the opinion that there's no such thing as blank coded. That's just your own headcanon, and you're trying to validate your headcanon.
Agreed. Exactly. You have the people saying they're coded, or you have people who are trying to say a character is queer when everything points they're straight, right down to the fact they had a love interest and everything, but like, nope, that's just a beard.
Oh, trust me. Yeah, it's like the Super Bat people, the Wonder Cheetah people. Trust me. Pick your poison, Robert. Pick your poison.
Well, Wonder Bat is a straight couple, but you mean Super Bat?
No. Super Bat, yeah. I said Super Bat.
I thought you said Wonder Bat. Sorry,
well,
my mistake.
Wonder Bat is the example of the creatives having their own headcanon.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
But it's like, but here's the thing. Now, I want to be clear about something. You can have your headcanons are useful to fill in the blanks that the company hasn't. Like, for instance, if there is like a thing in the comics that they don't explain, and you're confused by, you could go, okay, based upon the history of the like character or like concept, like this, the way a Green Lantern, I know a Green Lantern ring works like this. It could be this is what happens.
Exactly.
That's when the headcanon's fine. I'm fine with that. It's just when people try and make their headcanon actually canon, that's when the problem arises. Because then they also attack you and go, I was talking about a fan theory. You never represented it as a theory.
Exactly. Oh, yep, I remember that guy.
No, but even beyond that, I'm like, what are you doing? Or it's like again, they keep trying to Robert's point, they keep trying representing themselves as like.
But here's what it is: the tourists. Here, someone did a meme that was great when it comes to gatekeeping. Like open the door. I want to join. Block off. I want to change.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's. The tourists who either want to change or show their ignorance.
Yeah. Now, again, if someone comes in and says, "I don't want to change, I want to learn," that's when I let you in. That's when you're totally fine.
And here's the other thing: it's like when you have people who are in the anime, but then say it's all fan servicey.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. But it's like the other thing is like when these people like act like they're experts of these characters and try to sound all intellectual. I know I'm harping on Tom King, but he's the creative that is guilty of this a lot. It's like when he was on your show, Robert, he was talking about how much he knows comics, and I go, no. Anyway. He's the one creative at DC that I do consider a tourist on certain characters.
Superman, I can believe he knows.
Superman, I can go with. Batman, I go back and forth with. Wonder Woman, he's a tourist.
He's a tourist. He's a Steve fan.
Oh, Hawkman, he's a tourist.
Hawkman
knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, Hawkman. Yep.
Yeah. But it's like, look. Or compare him to Jeremy Adams. I've never felt that Jeremy Adams is a tourist in any way.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's like and again, thinking that two people work well together romantically, whether gay, straight, bi, what have you, is fine. It's just when you want to change the character when they have no evidence of this.
Exactly.
Or in the case of Wonder Woman, when the company has been indirectly clear, and this would arguably hurt the character. When people tell you that DC, when people are just stating facts, saying DC doesn't consider it this way because of this evidence, and you accuse them of being homophobic, that's a problem.
Yep. And then when you have people who are saying like, oh, they should just do it for the art.
Yeah, and like DC should take the
Or
hit.
take the hit.
Sorry. If your excuse for, if you're saying that I don't care if DC takes a hit, they should take it, you're not a real DC fan. I'm going to tell you that.
No, no, you are not.
You have to look out for the health of the company first. It's like with Britt and I, we fully admit on Super Wonder that if Super Wonder flopped and it wasn't profitable for the company, we would move on. We would still do the show, obviously, because we like it, but we wouldn't like go, DC should adopt this.
Exactly.
It's like the other thing is like, here's the other version of tourist, Robert. The movie only people.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, DC and Marvel have this issue themselves, because you have the people that think that because they saw the movies, they are experts in the characters.
Especially Marvel, when the characters are radically different.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in the case of DC, they CW fans.
Oh, yeah. When they're like, they should turn Green Arrow into Stephen Amell, and I go, nope.
Raish is a Green Arrow villain.
Or Grant Gustin should play the Flash in the movies.
Well, that's it. Now, okay, that's more of a case where you like the actor. We're talking about how it affects comics.
But they think he would be that version of the character.
Not even.
Yeah, I know. And Cameron says, yes, the MCU did cause this at first, because those were the superhero movies that really.
I would say the early days of the MCU, it didn't hurt because the characterizations were pretty spot on. It was a later MCU.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, this is not the way the character should be. Credit to the DCEU. They didn't change comics Aquaman to act like Jason Momoa.
No, my man.
He still was like, he was a badass still, but he still was like Arthur. He to be
fair, it was closer to Batman Brave and the Bold Aquaman. Aquaman.
Yeah, exactly. And then Cameron says, no hate to Tom, love the guy and hope he recovers, but I've had to fight so many experts when they say he's his precious cinnamon roll that needs to be protected and adopted by Tony.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, exactly. Or when they think that like Spider-Man should be Spider-Man should only be with Iron Man or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's where it gets into. Or like the people that think that because they've seen, I've seen people, Robert, recently that have said that the Kryptonians in James Gunn's Superman, the whole reveal, that's they should adopt that in the comics.
No. I don't even Gunn wouldn't want that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. In this case, it doesn't matter what Gunn wants. That's what these people want. And I go, no. The whole reason why Gunn did this, and I mean this sincerely, in his own words, the reason why he did this, ladies and gents, because he wanted to be different from everyone else.
That's why he wouldn't want the comics to take off of what he did.
I know, but and I'm like, yeah. But it's like, and now here's the thing. Enjoying that version of the character is one thing. That's totally fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
I love Cavill and Snyder's Superman. I never said that, like, that should be, like, the standard forever.
But you do know there were people who were treating some people even saying, Zach got it better than the comics. It's like, no.
Now, you could point, now, what I've always pointed to is that Zach got the movies more comic accurate than he gets credit for in terms of
but to act like his is the true one too.
No, and Zach would not want that either. And yes, movie synergy always ruins it. Or the people that like, so in one of the behind the scenes, so you know David Cornsweet is really tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So remember the scene where he's walking into the Daily Planet and he's like navigating around a crowd?
Yep.
Well, Gunn actually had to cast people that cast extras that were as tall as David, so it would look like he's going through like a crowd. So literally, these people are like, no, then I don't want to hear anything about how Diana doesn't have to be tall.
Yeah. Of course, that makes it tell you then. Wait, so that means Diana's gonna have to be a giant.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, movie theater told me rumors that bands may refer tomorrow. Well, again, we're going to talk about that in terms of like this in the show tomorrow. But the point is, I'm like, the more I see this stuff, it's also the people that think that because that the comic costume, like the post-crisis bikini, would work in life.
Or worse, the Diodato song.
No. And
we know who we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, but it's like, because Rob and I have to deal with these people all the time, and it's like, oh, and by the way, you also have some creators on YouTube that are clearly tourists and don't care about the comics, and then represent themselves as comics experts.
Yep. Just one sec.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of like what of like how I deal with tourists, all I do, if you start coming at me and saying that I've read every single Superman issue, so you have to listen to me, I just block and move on. I'm done. It's like if you do that, the only time I ever show my comic collection is if someone accuses me of not reading the comics. I just go, really? Try this on for size. Like that's all in that case.
I know what you mean. Yep, I know. And Nemo, we could talk about and save for the Q&A.
So save it for the Q&A at the end of this episode or Comics League Dark tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's like with these people, it's like it really annoys me, Robert.
It annoys me too. These people who just come in and act like I know what I'm talking. We gotta bring up Az.
Oh yeah. So
okay. First of all, heel versus babyface. Not the first time he's been a dummy.
Because here's what happened. So in Peacemaker, it was finally revealed that Sasha Bordeaux is a cyborg. By the way, comics lore going back since the early 2000s, Sasha Bordeaux has always been a cyborg.
Now, granted, was it a requirement for them to go with it? No.
No, but it's like I figured they would, but the point is she is a cyborg. As literally tweets saying, this is Cyborg in the DCU.
And yet, another thing, a cyborg or whatever, he is clearly meaning this is Victor Stone.
Yeah, it would be one thing if she was named Victoria Stone.
Now, I will say this. Now, you're probably wondering, oh, that doesn't mean much. This is not the first time he's tried to pull a stunt like this. This is the first time.
Occasion.
Well, I would say this is the first time where it blew up in his face. Last one, he was able to dodge it.
Yeah, exactly.
When Stargirl first came out, he was so quick to try and get people heated by saying, Yolanda, Wildcat, and I just Beth, Midnight were DEI creations to replace the male characters and created just for the show. And it's like, no, not at all. These characters were created in the 80s, one of which was in Crisis. And they both got killed off by Eclipso in the 90s. But still, they were created long ago. These weren't even, these weren't created like a few years ago or just for the show. These were 40 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, here's the thing. When Robert told me that about like Wildcat, I literally was flipping through Crisis at the time. We couldn't time this better. And I was like, she's from Crisis.
Which tells you he's never read Crisis. My guess is he's a guy who only read stuff in the 90s and only the Image books.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to bet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no. King also, yes, again, as I've said, NJ, King is a Wonder Woman tourist, 100%.
Okay, yeah, but let's not bring him up that much in here. We'll be here all day as examples.
Trust me, you get me started. Trust me, there are many streams where I can rant about Tom King.
Yep. Now, again, are all people tourists? No, obviously not. And is it? And are there sometimes where people get labeled tourists unfairly? Yes, there are. But again, what makes them a tourist is they act like they are know-it-alls. Like the people who I have seen, and I know you can bring people on the other side of the argument. I'm just bringing up my one example of saying, I'm a huge Superman fan. I have seen every show, read so many comics. I am the be-all, end-all, and I can tell you, Gun's version is the worst.
Yeah, now here's the thing. I know that you guys have heard this, and Robert, I know you guys have heard this before, but just bear with me. Gun's version is not my favorite version of Superman. Do I still enjoy it to a degree? Yes. Yes, 100%. Just because there are some parts of it that you don't like about it. Same thing with Snyder, by the way. Apply what I'm saying to also Snyder stuff. Just because there is some stuff that you don't like doesn't mean the whole thing is wrong. I mean, Robert, when we reviewed Man of Steel and BVS, you brought up there are stuff you don't like, but there's stuff you like about it.
Exactly. And even then, I was always quick to say, what I don't like is not how it's executed. It was the fact it was done in the first place. Big difference.
Yeah. In the case of Gunn, it's both for me, but again, it's like I admit there's great stuff the movie does.
But the fact that people are saying it's the worst version of all time, it's like bull
Superman 4 is the worst version, let's be clear.
But the fact that they are so quick to say that they have to preemptively say, I'm the biggest person ever. Trust me, brah. And I remember one guy showed an image of it, and you realize, okay, even if this is real, those books are in too new condition.
Yeah, they'll show like I once saw someone show to prove they're comic book fans that they still put shrink wrap. They still have the shrink wrap.
Exactly. It's like
I'm like, have you read that? At least in my thing, that's part of the reason why I take off the shrink wrap. Beyond the point that I want to read the damn book.
All right, give me a second. I'm switching back. I'm switching to my computer. Hold on.
Okay.
You know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's like that's the point. And it's like, look, if you want to brag about reading comics, that's great. I encourage that. The problem is when you try and like discount other. This is what I always say, and this was something that I've always tried to do, which is why I'm always able to get people I disagree with to come on my show. I never discount someone else's fandom. Unless it's like the rarest exceptions where like someone's clearly not a fan of this character, like King. But yeah, and in Robert's case, it's like, look, yeah, exactly. Or in Robert's case, it's like, look, Robert's a big time Lois fan. You know, I hate her with the burning intensity of 1,000 suns, but it doesn't mean Robert is any less of a fan than I am, and vice versa.
I'll show you this. I will show you this. A proof of my fandomness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look how shredded this book is.
Yeah, you probably read that.
And yet, look. And you get why you get why I'm showing it. I still ask people to sign it regardless of the condition.
Yeah.
And you know what I always get? It's well loved. They are impressed and happy to sign it.
Yeah, because it shows you're constantly engaging with the material.
Yeah, and again, look at this. This thing is like
shredded, but hey, yes, Cameron. If Robert has it, there's about a 98% chance it's signed.
Yeah, this one, it's Kevin McGuire, EVS, Phil Jimenez, and George Perez.
Lucky bastard! God damn it, Robert! You're always making me. But the point is like, yeah, Robert and I, no one can ever accuse us of not actually being fans. They could try. It's not gonna work.
And of course, that's why a lot of people do it more on Twitter, where they're like, "Oh, where's the proof?" You show it. Oh, I know where that image is. Yeah, for me.
Now, again, this is the other thing, and I'm gonna repeat this. If you don't like a version of a movie,
Like,
don't.
again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Snyderverse, but I'm not against it existing.
Yeah, it's like, look, to that. It's like, look, don't call all of the fans not real fans of DC. There are some that are not fans of DC on both sides. Trust me, Robert and I have both encountered people. But to use a blanket statement like that doesn't work.
Yep, but here's something else. I can give you an example. That of a tourist. Let's go with anime for a second.
Yeah,
anime tourist. You have people who are like, there's this notorious video that came out. This guy who got into anime during the pandemic, which I'll be honest, the pandemic brought in a surge of tourists.
Yes.
On all medias. But you had someone there who did this big video saying, I've watched and ranked every anime. And the fact he put classics like Speed Racer and Astro Boy in F and D tier.
And again, now
that's because he's comparing it to modern.
And let's be clear. Yeah, exactly. If you don't like it, that's fine.
But don't be a dick.
Yeah, it's like I've been watching a lot of Gundam, and obviously there's like a lot of different anime for the series, and I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, it's not my thing. Moving on. Okay, I like this series. I'm gonna watch more of this series. Moving on. That's the way it should work.
But the fact that they're judging it because, or they're complaining about too much fan service when it's like, and okay, here's the biggest example. They showed an anime done by a female creator. She must have been forced to do this fan service.
Yeah.
When two of the biggest mangaka, Rumiko Takahashi and I forget her name, but the creator of Sailor Moon, lots of sexy women. They were not forced to do it at all.
And NJ again, be careful. There are some DCAU fans that know the content. I'm not going to say all of them
I would say, okay, let me put it this way. I'd say, besides those you might see on Twitter, a large majority of DCAU fans did go into, if they actually jumped into comics because of DCAU, they know their stuff. If they are pure recent DCAU fans, no. I would say a lot of old school DCAU fans are and do know their stuff.
My problem is, look, if you're going into it and want to change it, or here's where they become tourists, Robert, when they automatically assume that just because Wonder Woman and Batman may have been flirty in the DCAU, that's regular. Comic Historian would say,
confirmed. Sorry, go ahead.
Comic Historian would say that, like, at first he thought they were always together because of the DCAU, and at first, I want to be clear because he obviously read the comics and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's not a thing."
Yeah, exactly. But then it's like, I still remember people. The fact that you have people who are putting their own politics on the creators. They must have been forced to do it. Like I said, this mangaka must have been forced to do all this fan service stuff. And if she wasn't forced, she's problematic then.
Yeah, I know.
That's like believing Amanda Conner hates Amanda Conner hates drawing big boobed women.
And I'm like, Amanda Conner, which character is she known for drawing?
Power Girl. And
hello.
Or that's like saying Rachel Dotson should have a problem when she inks her husband's work.
Yeah, Cameron brings up a good point. If Superman kills, he's not Superman, even though he's killed before. Yeah, okay. Robert, how many times has Superman killed?
Not counting Doomsday, because you can judge him.
Not counting Doomsday. Yeah, go ahead.
At least once.
At least one with the
post-crisis.
And I use that one example because here's why. I got someone on this when I was having a Twitter debate. It was with Batman and Final Crisis, because they said Batman under no circumstances will ever kill. And then I brought up Final Crisis, and then they go, well, in some
that's not what they said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I said, no, you said under no circumstances. This is a circumstance.
You can't backpedal.
I got them to admit that, and this applies to all of the characters.
Oh, here, you want another case of a tourist? We brought this up before during our Superman, Super Pal thing.
Oh boy.
People who seem to think that stuff that happened nowadays had long existed. Like when I still remember when people are saying they're trying to argue about the Ken should be dead. He said he could talk with his father with the in the fortress. That didn't exist until 1 year later.
Yeah. In post-crisis, mind you.
In post-crisis, it didn't exist, and people were saying, "Oh, they could have." That wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm yelling a lot, but
no.
I always know people love
this
Ramsey
is the
Roberts.
yelling thing.
People love Ramsey Roberts.
Yeah, when they say the Ken suck and really serve no role, and I go, they should
die as soon as he becomes Superman.
Yeah, it's but you know why? Here's one of, because it's mostly I'm going to use a qualifier here. Extreme Clois fans.
That's I would say that's a small percentage of the people do it. I do think it's a lot who are, because I do not see that many people bring up Lois that much. I just see them just simply say they want it for the drama. They want to be like MC and the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah, that's the
majority. Thing. That's the majority.
Here are the tourists that I've personally encountered. The Marvel fans that want DC to be like Marvel. That want DC to be like Marvel. I'm like, no.
It's this. It's when you have the people who bullied you in school decide, hey, I'm going to check it out. Oh, what these dorks are going to do? Oh, it is dorky, but I'm enjoying it. I want to change it to be what I want.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Shout out to Wes from Thinking Critical. He pointed that out. He goes, you had a bunch of tourists where they wanted these characters to be overly political. And guess what? It's like that didn't work.
Remember the OMG facts? Yeah.
Hey, I've been after seeing Injustice in the Flashpoint cartoon. Some people have the nerve to claim. Yeah, exactly. No, when first off, the Flashpoint animated movie changes Flashpoint Wonder Woman.
Oh, how about this? When in fact you have people because of a lot of various incarnations, including Injustice and everything, where people now think Wonder Woman is Xena. Kill it, fight, she'll take heads and everything.
Yeah, she will murder everyone. And I go,
I was like, oh, unlike you, I don't have a rogues gallery.
Yeah, that's not what that means.
I'm sorry, Jeff did not help. Even when he was I'll say it, he handled Wonder Woman better in New 52, but not by much.
Now, here's the thing. Do I think Jeff is a Wonder Woman tourist? No, I don't. He's gotten her right a few times.
Yeah, it's just that he just doesn't get her.
Oh, and also, as far as I know, Jeff has never tried to represent himself as like an expert in DC Comics.
He is happy. That's what
he happens to. He lets his work speak for itself. That's why I respect the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm. He worked at Marvel for a brief time.
Yeah, and Barry, his Avengers run is actually pretty decent. I like the fact that
he was, and I'll say this again. Now, are there people who are, besides King, are there other creators who are tourists? I'd say a lot of people who are brought on from Hollywood or other media who don't know what, but then they claim, oh yeah, but then you have people who are just like, oh, I hate Batman, but I'm going to be right here at Hood.
Yeah. Now here's another example. There are creators that come from Hollywood that know the characters really well, like Jeremy frickin' Adams,
Michael Dorn,
Nicole Maines.
You can tell these are fans. Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I would love for a Wonder Woman one-shot written by Rosario Dawson. That would be dope.
Heck, you had most of the cast from Shazam writing that comic. Now, granted, they needed actual pros to help out.
Yeah, exactly. And Cameron says also bad tourists for some reason have this weird obsession with wanting Bruce to be poor.
No, that's not tourist. That's not even tourism. I think that's a good.
Robert, I have a tourist example. Remember when Batman is swinging through Gotham, someone's looting and go, they have insurance.
Oh, Batman Fortress. Ugh.
That is the worst example.
NJ, no, I know. That doesn't give him the label of tourist.
He's written her well before, such as Kingdom Come.
He might admit like that's why he'll never want to do a run on her, but don't take that as meaning he doesn't fully get the character.
Dave brings up a good point. Tourists ruined geek culture in general many years ago, and stuff like the Big Bang Theory and the MCU went mainstream. Comic book culture was cooked.
Now, I don't hate Big Bang. Let's make clear. I don't hate Big Bang.
Me neither, but I could see why some people are like, think like they know geek culture, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I can do that," and I go, "No."
And then they want to change it from within. I would say Star Wars is and Star Trek are the big examples.
Yes,
of people coming in and changing it.
Because I got news for you. Leslie Headland is a tourist for Star Wars. I'm just going to tell you that right there.
But I said, but yeah, can we agree? Mark Waid, because here's the thing. He might not understand her, but he knows a lot about her.
He puts in the work, at least he tries to understand her. So I'm not going to
here's the case. Can I give a taste of a tourist?
Yeah, go ahead.
People who, when even the Spider creators say this is canon, they find ways around trying to say, no, it ain't.
Or here's an example of tourists, Robert. This is, have you guys ever had to deal with
Yes.
a Star Wars tourist? Yes. Now, here's an example of tourists, Robert. You'll love this. When DC has clearly indicated through inaction that like Wonder Woman's straight, but the fan base is like, I don't care. I go by what the creators say, and I go by what their bosses say.
And then the creator himself said in an interview.
I know, right? But they're like, no, he believes it. I go,
first of all, you're taking an older interview.
Or like an older trade paperback in this case. That's not like to be taken as canon.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Oh, and Cameron, yes, I have had to deal with Star Wars tours before.
Yes, I really did.
But it's like the point of this discussion is to just say, and here's the thing: what's the cure to this? Well, again, directing them.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll say a cure is hard to implement, unfortunately.
Well, the thing is, like, Robert, channels like yours and mine, we just have to keep doing what we're doing, because maybe in the hope that they'll find our channels. And again, Robert and I don't know everything about comics. And then they're like,
and I'm the first to admit it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I can only testify to, and this is my disclaimer, whenever I make a claim on social media, this is just based on what I personally have read. Because people can read opposites of it. It's the same thing with like Greek mythology. There are different versions of the same story.
Arthurian lore.
Yeah, there are different retellings, different versions.
Here's an example. Some versions, Merlin's a magician. So, sometimes he got his magic because he's the Antichrist that was baptized.
Yeah.
Depending on how much the Bible is involved.
Cameron says, even though we have a gay Wonder Woman Nubia, I get we do need representation. We have thousands of characters already created. That's my example.
Here's a turret. Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Ta-Nehisi Coates? Oh, yes. If there's
especially with the fact that he wanted to do Superman.
You mean Captain America? Yeah.
Yep. I'll say it. What's his name? Ridley. John Ridley is more of a fan than Coates is.
Are you sure he had Superman be ass raped in a prison?
Okay, not the fact he referenced an old story for that one.
No, I don't care if he referenced an old story.
No. But it's not what he read. It's the fact that he tapped into an obscure story for it.
Or how about
remember, writing it badly does not make him a tourist.
You know what makes him a tourist on Batman? Instead of logically going with Luke Fox to become a Black Batman, if you wanted that, he just grabbed a character that's been created once and never referenced and goes, I'm just going to take this.
Now that was more. Or here's a bigger one. During his Black Label book, The Other History of the DC Universe. 1. 9/11 didn't happen.
Oh God!
The Bush administration.
Don't tell Tom King that. The
Bush administration didn't happen. By that point, Tara was not a sweet, innocent girl who was manipulated by Deathstroke. She was a monster. He took advantage of, but she was already bad to begin with.
Remember, Robert, Superman can't punch a disease. Robert knows what I'm talking about.
To be fair, that is a reference to how he can't cure cancer with just his powers.
But remember, it's like apparently with King, 9/11 did happen in the DC universe.
Again, they go back and forth with that so much, to be fair.
Ta-Nehisi Scroat! That's so good. My God, the only cure is getting something to fall out of mainstream normie culture. That's the other thing. Now,
but they're not going to let it go. They can't.
They're not because it's relevancy.
Yep. By the way, I just wanted to show off what I have.
Oh, yes, of course. Now, and again, that's why I give full credit to, oh my gosh,
What?
We got to look at Wonder Woman's at a cover for DCKO featuring Wonder. Check this out.
Let me see. Oh, forget the fact they're going out of their way with more armor type of stuff for these characters.
I like that helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And the eagle is fatter. Looks kind of Dark Knight Returns-y, and the armored arm. That is so cool.
But yeah, basically, like here, what makes a tourist is the fact that if they make a statement, act like they know what they're doing, someone points it out with receipts, and they still double down. That's a tourist.
And accuse you of being a tourist. Isn't that great?
Oh, yep, exactly. By the way, quick thing. To make you hate me even more, you want to know who's coming to Motor City?
Who?
Mark Brooks, Klaus Janson, Jay Lee, Mark Wade, Ryan Benjamin, Michael Cho, Dennis Kwan, Steve Englehart, Mark Guggenheim, Kevin Marion, one of the artists on Green Lantern, Jim Kruger, Scott Collins, Steve Orlando.
Dweeb.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding, Steve Orlando.
Mm.
But that's the point there.
You're hating me, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I am. I am imminently plotting your downfall.
Oh, Phil Lamar's going to be there.
Anyway, it's like, look, ultimately, just keep doing what we're doing, and then we can like have fun. But so let's do a brief Q&A. And now we're gonna open it up. Anything you guys want to talk about? And since Nemo brought up the Wolverine game, holy moly!
And once again, just like they did with Spider-Man, it's taking the gold standard, and in Spider-Man's case, the Spider-Man 2 movie game, and improving it. In this case, they're taking the X-Men Origins Wolverine game and improving it.
They're using that as a basis, and that is the one thing that you should be doing. Everyone admits that makes the movie story infinitely better.
Oh, and by the way, you know what Tristan called this morning and got proven right? What? People are already calling Mystique mannish. And you know what the first one to say it was?
Who?
Baradark. Which means you're going to have her simps taking her at every word.
Hey, what's up, Corey Sims?
And basically use it as, she said it must be true.
Yeah, it's woke. And I go, I'm like, what? By the way, I'm just going to say it. A lot of these anti-woke people are are tourists. I'm just going to tell you that right there.
By the way, I got to say, this is becoming one of my favorite books, recent books, because of how well it handles the history.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are some contradictions. Like,
no, I don't think Nemo mentioned it. I think someone else mentioned it.
Yes, someone else did. But it's like someone in the Wonder Woman fandom found like an error. Do you mind if I point it out?
Go ahead.
So in the part where it's a Wonder Woman error.
So by the way, Nemo's the one who brought up Superboy Prime.
Okay. And yes, we can talk about that. That's great. I love that.
Oh, I got the issue right here.
Yeah, so, okay, where is it? Because someone brought up this thing. And by the way, I haven't talked about, Robert hasn't read the new Wonder Woman issue yet.
Don't bring it up. Please don't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, make a Hulk game member with Ultimate Destruction. Yes!
Oh, hell
yes!
Yes.
Because
that's
the funny thing about Spider-Man 2 and Ultimate Destruction? So basically just GTA with a Spidey and Hulk skin, but worked.
So here it is. So here's the error. And I found this on Facebook in one of the Wonder Woman groups I'm in. So the error is, so it has a date error. 1988 should read 1994 for Wonder Woman 90 and Wonder Woman 93.
For one. Oh, wait a minute. Do these people not get what that means? That's the year the volume started.
So it would be 1998?
1988, yes.
88. Oh, that's interesting.
Because that's when the volume started.
I did not know that.
When they mention those, that's when the start of the volume is. Why do you think there are some issues that, like, it's Action Comics, they say 1939 or 38?
Oh, interesting.
But if they did the volume 2, they would use 2011.
I did not know that. So that's actually.
Oh, yeah, that is not an error. So what you pointed out to them, that's not an error. They're referencing when the title started, which was 1988.
And by the way, Scott Snyder recently talked about why Wonder Woman and Batman are the first ones to meet, because he goes, Batman's not really the seeking out people type, particularly this version of Batman. Wonder Woman's the type because she's going to want to assemble a group of heroes. She's the outgoing one. And I go,
yeah, Superman has too much going on.
Yes, there is. Superman is captured by Ra's al Ghul, okay? By the way, now I will bring this up. The explanation for post-crisis Supergirl.
Oh, I love that. It is the most brilliant.
So for those that don't know, so Crisis happens in the continuity. It doesn't reboot, but Supergirl still dies. You may be wondering,
yep,
how do they bring Supergirl back? Okay, Robert, how do they bring Supergirl back?
I got it. I'll show them. Just give me a moment. But basically, this is what the history is now after Death Metal decided, basically, anti-crisis energy finally restored all the memories.
Yeah, and NJ, it's like, I get it that like I get that we want a Wonder Woman game, but again, there's a lot more in the way of that, and plus, it's like you need a pitch for it. And if people aren't pitching Wonder Woman projects, what do you expect? All right.
Basically, she died in Crisis, and then in the Superman Batman story, rather than having it be that's when she first arrived, they had it be Darkseid resurrected her, which explains why she went the evil stuff. No more Zor-El sending her to kill him or anything like that. Instead, it was just simply he brainwashed her. So it just cuts to the end point of that story.
And then, of course, she rebels and is still the good. This also really well explains her becoming a Red Lantern later, because I know that's going to be canon.
Yep. And now people are saying, where's the Wildstorm characters?
People at Monolith did have a pitch. NJ,
Monolith is the one who screwed it up, NJ. We've been over this.
Yeah. We've been over this. They had a pitch, yes, but then they didn't do anything with the pitch for 3 years.
Okay. NJ. Here's what happened, all right? Here's the order of events. First, Monolith tried to do a new game after Middle Earth, Shadows of War. They tried to do a new IP. Eventually got rejected. A lot of people left. Like the vast majority of people left. So, in trying to still keep themselves afloat and get a new thing, they just randomly picked Wonder Woman as a pitch. They just that was random. And they hired people on board. They did that quick teaser trailer trying to get investment going. And then they spent a lot of years relearning the Nemesis engine, making promises that in the end they could not follow on. And then they decided after a few years into it, let's start from scratch. Unfortunately, starting from scratch does not reset the budget.
Yeah, if it did, that game would still be in development.
Yeah, exactly. And then a second attempt, and then when they started getting things going, then right towards the end, they brought Gale on to pitch it and everything, get things going. But then Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League flopped, and thus they had to cut what was a money sink.
And it got to the point where, look, because what people don't realize, because the budget stacks, it was getting to a point where there's no, because if they were going to restart from scratch, which they were, there's no way the game would have profited. I know you need your game, NJ. We agree with you on that. We're saying in this case, it's not. It's a
money sink. It's a money sink.
NJ, remember, if there's ever anyone that will blast WB for making stupid choices, Robert, it's you, right?
It's you, but in this case,
and even I'm saying WB is not to blame for this.
No, anyone would have canceled it.
Name the
Especially after a big
studio,
of a
they would have
bomb.
canceled it.
Especially after a big of a bomb at Suicide Squad.
But
was
anyway.
was a lot of it because of Suicide Squad killed the Justice League? Yes, but only in that it caused them to have to cut what was money waste.
Now, okay, on to this. Now, going into this, I'm going to tell you this. I like you, Robert, was scared. Are we really reverting Superboy Prime to evil again?
Because they referenced what happened. They said, "Oh yeah, but it's fine." But you want to know the brilliance of it was?
Yeah.
This was the end game. Why? Because he said, like, I love it. Like, remember what Time Trapper told you, Superman? I'm here to do what you never could. And that was making these losers thought I was one of them. What? How? Superman can't hide the thoughts, you evil copycat. He's always thinking of doing the right thing. It's at the forefront. With you reading his mind, it's tough to pull a fast one. But me, I really do hate the Legion. And I can blast my nerd rage all day long.
Yeah, and the Legion lost thing.
He hates them.
That is great. Oh, that's great. Can I say, I am really the
But instead of having to be a toxic fanboy, he's now a positive fanboy.
Can I say the heel turn of Superboy Prime from villain to hero has been so well done. Going back
for that.
Yeah, thank you, Scott Snyder. Yes, and he becomes a member of the Legion.
Yep, he even gives it to him, saying, like, I didn't earn it, you will. And at the very end, I love it. Now I get my Legion team up. We're no Legion. We're going to die. Like, the Legion changes all the time. Sometimes it's a big team. Some days it's a small one. What matters is that we are all influenced by Superman to do the right thing. So there's only one thing left to say. Long live the Legion!
And for Superboy Prime to say that is like, I'm like, okay, you know what? That is freaking dope. I love it. I love it so I'm proud to have his action figure.
I am so glad that this is again.
So
Anyone else, and I hate to say even Jeff probably would have just reverted him back. Had to be something caused him to snap, but no, this is better. He's still Prime. He's still a snot.
This is.
But he's no longer wanting to kill people, saying everything was better on Myers.
Barry, can I say I love where he sees Booster and he goes, "Don't tell Dan Jurgens."
Oh, I gotta find that.
But again, it's like because Superboy Prime, this is the role that he fits really well. And
it's the fanboy. It's no longer a toxic fanboy.
He's grown up, in other words.
Because he, after saving the day, he was rewarded rather than punished.
Yeah, and I'm like, that is so cool.
Oh, no. If Dan Jurgens is going to be pissed.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, my God.
I love that. He's like, after saying kill Booster, Dan Jurgens is going to be so pissed.
I love it. That is so good. Because he's right. If there's one character that would be believable he
created him.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
But yeah, just to make going back to with the
actually, you know what's kind of funny, Robert? This of all episodes, it's great that we talked about the character that represents the sort of tourist.
Now he's a toxic fan, at least, not a tourist. He wasn't a tourist; he was a toxic fan. Big difference. He was the type of fan who only liked one at least the era that he read. Now,
here's the thing. Let me tell you a positive interaction that I've had with tourists. Okay, there were people that it's people bashing the Superman Wonder Woman relationship, and they act like they know everything. All I do now, and this has gotten me more success, I just say, hey, if I were you, maybe consider checking out the Charles Sewell book. And they're like, I never read that. So I send them the title. If you show them stuff and say, here, check this out. I'm not expecting you to like completely change your mind. It's just something to show maybe why people like it.
Yep.
Or check out my show. but
again, hey Dave, it matches his growth though. Up until Death Metal, no one was willing to hear it at all. Unfortunately, that was how Jeff wanted it to be. But Scott decided to have it be, maybe these guys have a little bit of a point to be annoyed. A little. Doesn't excuse everything. Maybe we should at least indulge them a little.
Yeah.
Now the big part of Death Metal.
Because here's what you have to understand about Superboy Prime. He meant well.
initially.
And because his whole point is that the superheroes stopped being superheroes. They were all dark and like killing people and stuff. I get that. That's admirable. The way he went around about it was wrong.
And the fact he's like, doesn't matter to this comic. I can kill them all I want. No one's gonna know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when it became a problem for him.
But the point is,
yeah.
Guess what that's called, Robert? That's called character development.
Yep. Again,
and it's earned.
And like I said, that's one of those cases where Scott did something better than Jeff, because Jeff would never have done it, I'm afraid. Jeff would felt like, nope, this is my straw man, and I'm keeping him.
Like, even he sacrificed his life and death at the time we thought it was that.
Yep. Well, but at the very end, and then he was rewarded at the end.
And he got his powers. He got his Action Comics moment.
And yet, unlike the first time when he was sent back home and everyone knew what he did, that was a punishment. This time, he was sent back to Earth Prime with no knowledge of what he did.
Yeah, and I like that. And it's like...
That was better because, again, Jeff...
Someone brought up, and actually a great suggestion on Twitter, that... now, again, let's assume that the following proposal would sell. A Legion of Superheroes book with Superboy Prime as their superhero.
Hell yeah!
Can you imagine that?
Yes!
Hickman comes to DC and he writes that.
Yes!
Can you imagine that? And we get more of that development and seeing him like, oh, I like being a hero.
But we gotta still keep his snot-nosedness. We have to. That's become
what you could do, take the a-holeness of New 52 Superman and write him like that. But here's the thing. Isn't it great? All Superboy Prime ever wanted to do is be like Superman. And he ended up being like that.
And I'll say this. He's more like Damian now.
He's more like Damian. Like, he's still, like, put this way.
He's a little shit. He's a little shit.
You could say he's kind of like Red Hood in a way.
More Damian, I still think, of his arrogance.
But anyway, well done.
Yeah, well done, Williamson. Well done.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to play this. Williamson has earned this. NJ says if he wants to join a team, he needs to be nerfed. Who said?
Nope. Not with the Legion.
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah, or Hunter's Element, either one.
That's a fantastic point, Cameron. My God, that's genius.
Yeah, he is the reverse of that. But again, more Hunter than it was Eobard at first. Nowadays with Eobard, yes.
That's fantastic. But on that note,
and who made Eobard even more of a credible threat? Williamson.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to end on that positive note. So in terms of Comics League, obviously tomorrow, again, we have CLD at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking
more about Wolverine there. We'll talk about more about that
100%. There. We'll talk about all this DC Comics news. On movie night, we're talking Aquaman.
Oh, yeah. My man.
On, let's see, on Super Wonder, Britt and I will be comparing Superman and Wonder Woman to Big Barda and Mr. Miracle. And then Amazon Answers, I'm talking about Phil Jimenez's Wonder Woman. And then obviously for Super Pals, Robert and I are going to be talking about the hardcore multiverse Superman, like Red Son, like Apocalypse. Definitely absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And in terms of, let's see, in terms of Wonder Woman Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a full-on analysis of the Zeus origin, talk about why I understand why they went in that direction, what the origin actually is, and whether or not it works as a character, as a evolution for Diana.
And by the way, NJ, DCKO.
DCKO. They're giving her own like one shot.
Joelle Jones is writing it too.
Yes, you get a break from Tom King. Isn't that great? Applaud that.
Yeah, it's Joelle Jones. Come on.
Yeah. How about you, Robert? What you got?
You can check out my link down below. I'm covering PTNs. Tomorrow, Britt and I wrap up our coverage of Peter David's Supergirl. Which, boy, oh boy, that was great. Although unfortunate, the new history completely purges her. But again, I hate to say it, she was too convoluted to stick around.
You can still enjoy the content.
You can still enjoy it, but I'm not surprised. Like I said before, the problem was Matrix. She was too convoluted to keep around.
Because again, the purpose of the New History of the DC Universe book is to simplify the timeline.
Anyways, all right.
Is that all you got?
Yep, that's all I got so far. I will be finishing up my Bond retrospective. Once that's done, I'm going to be back to doing video game streams, starting with the Zombie Army trilogy.
Real quick, Dave asks, have you guys been keeping up with Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Hell yes! Yes!
You have the image I sent you?
We're going to show that tomorrow for DLD. But
okay, we'll show it tomorrow.
We're going to do an entire area. That's getting its own topic tomorrow. We need to, because that is badass!
It is. Again, this is one of the
best. You know what? I'm going to share that image now to give people a taste. If you guys ever want to know why I love Jeremy Adams so much, do you know what the man did? Do you know what the man did?
He fixed everything.
Literally brought back the Lantern Corps.
All of them.
They're back. All of them.
Even the blue.
I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
The blue being the most important one. Because basically, Hope is back. Hope is back.
It's to the point where I have long said that Jeremy Adams' run will be up there with Jeff Johns'. It is on the same tier now with Jeff Johns.
Does this current event beat out Sinestro Cold War? No, but it comes kind of close. It definitely beats out Wrath of the First Lantern.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. But anyway, we're gonna have a full conversation about that. That is great. But anyway, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She opposed General Zod or Darkseid. Zois and Larkside for life, as Dave so eloquently invented. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.